How you doing, everybody? We are here again. It is 9:01, and I think we're kind of getting, I'm finally getting this down. And if you guys and girls that are watching right now, you notice there's a three up there, and there's only two of us on the screen. Uh, Carlos is running a little bit late. It's okay. I just want that there so when he comes on, I can see him. So Carlos, if you're watching, if you come on, you're gonna be live automatically. So just say, be careful what you say. I don't know, I've never met you, so you got hot mic going on. So that will be Carlos Aragon from RFT Stars, Reach for the Stars. But we figured we'd come on, get the sponsors and all the stuff out of the way. Got some good news. Got another guest that we got to talk about a little bit. Thank you to Sean Nielsen who got us a new guest. You don't know this yet, but you're looking. I see him looking. I see him looking around like, what? but yeah. So Sean actually is going to get us a total of two guests. So good news is good news, and there's no news but good news by Gary Gnews, and there you go. And that's my off the rails chart for tonight. So let's get the sponsors out of the way. So when Carlos comes on, we can get right to it. And let's sponsors. There we go. All right. So we have a bunch of lovely sponsors that give us gift certificates and all the filters from Optimal, everything, Eagles, whatever we got going on. We got a lot of stuff that we give away. And it's a cool thing to have these sponsors, and we do have to give a shout out to them, not only to the member sponsors, but also to the corporate sponsors that give us all the stuff they give you. So, main sequence level, we have Woodland Hills Camera and Telescopes, and next week, I believe, will be our first Woodland Hills giveaway of a $50 gift certificate. So there we go for that. So thank you to Woodland Hills. Our Red Giant level sponsors have all said yes for another year of sponsorship. So Prima Luce, Camera Concepts, and Optolong. What am I talking about? So awesome job for all those people. I don't know what we're doing with Prima Luce, but Camera Concepts, Optolong, filters are coming. I could only assume that they're on their way. Don't know what's going on yet. Oh my goodness, I see something in the wings. I see Scott down there somewhere. So Scott's lucky he's not live right now, but he's there. So Scott's in the wings. So Mark, I'm sorry if you're in the chat. You're probably gonna go. See you later. But
we hope you don't. But we
hope you don't and stick around because Mark has a lot to offer and he has a lot of good comments in there. So Red Giant level, Super Giant level, Masters of PixInsight and IP for AP are going to be with us again for another year. We are going to be giving away one Masters of PixInsight class every Friday till the end of 2023, if not the foreseeable future, and one IP for AP year subscription per month for the rest of the year. So thank you to them as well. So beautiful stuff.
Yes.
So I made the slide for the member. Actually, you can't see this yet. You're right, guys. You can't see the.
I can see the off the rails member.
Oh yeah. So I'll change it so you can see it so you don't have to go back and forth. So there you go. So now you can see it on both screens. So our first off the rails member, Sean Nielsen. Thank you so much. I had to put the off the rails picture of there. It took me a while to take that picture because I had to pause it at the right spot. But thank you to Sean for being our first off the rails member. I actually got to look at the perks for that, Sean, because I don't even know what they are because we haven't had one before. So I'll get you perks out as soon as I figure it out. Quasar members, John, Bob, and Dr. Ascari, thank you so much. And if you want to become a member sponsor, please go on our Patreon site and become a member there. Thank you so much. An Off the Rails member is go to Patreon and take a look and see. It's the highest level of membership that we have. Black Hole members, Charity George and Mike. And then a ton of Red Giant members. main sequence members. I can't read them all. If I can't. It just would take too long. Protostar members, we picked up one. AZ Astro, sorry, I missed your entry into the program 19 days ago. So thank you so much for joining. He is the newest addition to the membership. So thank you, AZ Astro. Tonight, Carlos is here. Actually, I see him just popped on. So we're gonna go there in a second. I'm gonna make some changes because we have a couple extra people. But Carlos is here tonight, and tonight everybody is a fundraiser tonight. It's a fundraiser tonight, so get out the checkbooks, go wherever you gotta go to go donate. Go to rftstars.com, and there's a donate button on there and a GoFundMe at the bottom, and we'll go over that in a little bit. Then we have on January 25th, we have Craig Stocks coming on, and he's going to be doing his APP workflow, which is going to be pretty cool because I know nothing about APP. I'm a PixInsight user, and it's going to be interesting to find out what he does and how he gets those great pictures. Besides being in a Border 1 sky and in the middle of the Utah desert and using $30,000 telescopes.
You know what? Those things do help, though.
they help. Yeah, they do help. Here's our new guest, Steve Malia from Starfield Optics is going to be coming on February 8th to talk about some of his new products, the products he's been using. We've all been seeing the great images that Sean's been taking with the 8-inch astrograph that he has from Starfield, and it's going to be great to have him. And soon to come on his solo show is going to be Wayne Parker from Skyshed. He's going to be doing his solo show probably sometime soon. He's getting some stuff taken care of with his internet. So, going to be a lot of fun. Awesome. And also join us on our other social media platforms, Discord, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, whatever else we got going on. So, while I redo this, so what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4 now. So let's do that. And then select 4 up and layer 3 and Scott. There we go. And then we go live.
While you're getting the 4 up going, I'm going to say this. If you're seeing everything here, Twitch, Discord, Instagram, Facebook, all of that, we're on YouTube. Do us a favor. I'm seeing 26 people that have signed in. I want to see 26 thumbs up on our YouTube. We would really appreciate the support. So give us a thumbs up on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, give us a like and do us a favor. Share to public. Share it so we can get into the new, into your friends, your fellow astronomers and astro imagers, get into their feeds. So we would really appreciate that support because everything that you guys do to support us, we want to give back. That's why we have all of these great giveaways from Optilong and Prima Luce and from Camera Concepts and from Masters of PixInsight. So so I want us to just keep this, to keep the positivity going. And Scott, welcome, man. It's been a while. Great to see you again.
Scott is alive.
He is. It's great to see him. But yeah, don't forget to share the show. This is going to be an awesome evening today. I've had an opportunity to speak with Carlos in the past, and what he is doing, it's absolutely amazing what Reach for the Stars does. And I'm so excited to have him on the show. He reached out to me a while back when I was actually selling some equipment on cloudy nights, and he explained to me what he was, why, if I would be interested in donating, but unfortunately I'd already sold it. But he gave his website and explained what he and his wife and their board, what they do for these children. And it's absolutely, it's beautiful. It absolutely is. And he is I believe you're an Air Force veteran, Carlos. Yeah. So thank you again for your service. Really appreciate that. for you and your wife. But without further ado, I want to introduce Carlos Aragon from Reach for the Stars,
I,
and it's great to have you. And
Thank
please,
you.
why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and more importantly, why don't we talk a little bit about these wonderful kids and Reach for the Stars?
All right. Um, I see four people now. Is there a list of like other people here, or is it just us four that I
It's
can see?
just the four of
Like I
I,
us. It's just the four of us on the screen.
yeah, but there's
okay.
also about 25 people in the chat right now. So
Yep, yep. And we have
Okay,
about
great.
25 people on YouTube. Yep, as well as
Awesome.
in
Okay.
Facebook, Twitch, and wherever else.
That's great. Yeah,
yeah,
this is my first time using this app, so I'm just trying to get my bearings.
yeah. Just so
Well,
you know,
thank you.
we get about anywhere between 30 to 40 on the night, and then we get about 400 or so on the replays.
How fun. That's awesome.
So
Good for you guys. Well, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. It's an honor to be here. I consider myself like I'll go into depth about who I am and what I do in a minute, but I'm still learning. You know, I could go for 50 years and still have a huge learning curve ahead of me. There's so much in astronomy, but I was recently introduced into astronomy 5 years ago now. I'm from Idaho. Well, I grew up in California in Vacaville. Moved to Idaho when I was 15 and joined the Air Force from there. Went around and served in England for 4 years and came back to the States. And I was I was a flying crew chief. So I was a dedicated mechanic for an aircraft. Um, but we'll get into what happened there in a second. So, yeah, I am the CEO of a new astronomy nonprofit called Reach for the Stars. Um, I am going to try to share my screen here, if that's okay.
Yep.
yeah, you should have the little red computer down there.
Window.
There you go.
All right, can you guys see this?
Yep, and your full screen. So
Um, where is that
Yep.
button? Is there a full
he
screen
said
button?
he put you full screen
no,
on
I put
YouTube.
your
You're
full
all
screen.
set.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
all
okay,
set.
great.
yeah,
Thank you so much. Okay.
no problem. You're good.
All right, so Reach for the Stars is a new astronomy nonprofit. We founded it about 3 years ago, and the way it came about, you know, I never grew up and had an experience with astronomy. No one had introduced me to it, and the way I came about it was interesting and completely unexpected. Um, so real quick, the mission, just so you have an idea in the back of your mind while I'm going through this, we we're in Tucson, Arizona, and we use astronomy and charity work to uplift, empower, and positively impact mental health issues in youth, teens, and adults. Now that's a lot, but when you have an amazing team, you can do a lot of different things, and we feel that all these things combined together truly has uplifting impacts on youth, especially because adults are a little hard to get them to change their ways. Um, and, you know, it's working. Um, so, all right, let's get into it. So, who we are human, just in case anyone's interested. Need to reassure you of that. Uh, we are built of a community, so our neighbors are our board members. We are 100% volunteers, meaning we do not make an income. We do not have a paid staff, and I'll tell you how we're able to do that in a few. But the last thing is we're all in need. Um, we all, no matter who you are, we all have issues, whether it's a trauma, a car accident that you were in, an assault, um, just feeling down. Everyone's in need: youth, children, teens, adults, elderly. So, we to be able to provide a mission and to provide service to somebody, you have to understand a little bit about where they're coming from. And everyone has issues. A lot of them aren't the same, but um, you can still relate. So just because I'm titled the CEO, that does not mean I know what I'm doing. Um, I don't have a business background or anything like that. My wife named me CEO, and sent in the articles of incorporation without me aware. And so this is all really new to me, but I take it one day at a time and try to learn as much as I can. But next, I want to talk about the quick story of how this came to be. Um, so this is me in the military. I was a C-130 crew chief, and I loved it. I was very good. I get to brag now. I got awards and decorations and all this
Nice.
stuff. I loved it. Um, I wanted to go 20, 30 years, and retire out of the Air Force. I absolutely loved my job. I've been a mechanic on cars and stuff, and it was just natural, and it was so fun. Um, One day, the plane was banking during a low level. Low level isn't coming really low to the ground to practice dropping the seals off. And um, a pallet was unsecure and it slid off while I was inside. I was next to my hammock. Um, and yes, we sleep in hammocks because you know, it's just amazing. The seats in there are absolutely terrible. But the pallet slipped and I got crushed. I was pinched and I severed nerves in my shoulder. I severed my long thoracic nerve, and I was taken to the emergency room, um, and I was put on painkillers. Now, that was a very key moment, and I wish the doctors would have described to me what happens when you take those things for over a month or 2 months or 3 months, what they do to your body, what they do to your mind and brain. Um, so I was injured completely, and I could not do my job anymore. No matter how hard I tried or how much I explained, I could not do my job, and the Air Force didn't want me. And this all happened in an instant. Um, so they medically retired me, even though I tried to do desk jobs or anything to stay in. They medically retired me, and that was a huge blow. I lost my career, I lost income. Um, I was getting a disability, but it was a small 40%, and it was very very difficult, and I got really depressed. I couldn't find a job, even though I had my AMP license as a certified aerospace maintenance mechanic. Um, I couldn't get hired. I had no overhead ability in my right arm. Um, so it was really hard. And one day I came home and my wife at the time was gone. She had left. She had locked the doors. I was not on the title to the rental apartment. Um, and also at this time, I was dependent and basically addicted to the painkillers. This was really tough. Uh, Imagine coming home and the door's locked, no one's there, and then you're trying to get in the house, and after a few minutes, the police show up and say that you are not allowed to be here. It's against the law to enter this premises. What the heck do you do? You have your shirt, pants, and clothes, and your wallet, maybe, hopefully, your phone. Where do you go? So I just started walking. I didn't know where to walk. I just started walking. I believe I went to a McDonald's and sat there and tried to talk to my family, who I hadn't talked to in a few years. They all knew that I was dependent on these medications and they didn't like it. Um, it was very hard. One day, I'm sorry. This went on for a year and a half. I was homeless, completely homeless. I was sleeping inside of a bush, a cave I made inside of a thick bush, because when you're homeless, you want to stay away from as many people as you can, especially at night. It is very scary. People try to take advantage of you and steal from you. Um, it was absolutely terrible. Now I was getting the disability check once a month, um, and the VA was still providing me the prescription for the painkillers. So it was a continuous, I could survive off of that, um, but it was very hard. So um, after a year and a half, someone found me in the Safeway parking lot, passed out and dehydrated. They took me to the ER, where I basically made the decision to um, live or continue on where I was going and die. I could feel my body withering, and I had to make a decision that day. Um, this all had this time frame from when I was medically retired to the day where I went to the ER was about 4 years, um, and it was tough. So I decided to change. I went to rehab at the VA, and it was amazing. It was like going to college. You're in co-ed dorms. There's a gym. You have classes from 8 to 3. It was really nice. They did a wonderful job. They teach you all about how the brain works and what each substance does to you and how to avoid it, how to avoid cravings. It was great. And I graduated after 6 months. The problem was when I got home, I didn't know what to do. During rehab, I had something to focus on, something to do, something to keep me busy and study. Once I got out of rehab, I was clean. I didn't have any painkillers or narcotics in my body. I should have been really happy and excited to start my future, but I couldn't. I still couldn't get a job. Um, it was very, very depressing, and I didn't know who I was anymore. I had been on painkillers for 5 years and lost myself. I couldn't remember who I was or how to get back to that person who had so much drive, who had so much ambition and happiness back then. I couldn't figure it out, and I got really depressed. So, this is where it all happened. One day, I bought my son a Walmart telescope. Now, I am not advocating for Walmart telescopes, but I'm telling you, for my state of mind, it worked for me. All right. The $40 telescope, I set it up in the backyard and pointed it at the brightest thing, and it was like November or something. And it was freaking Jupiter. I didn't realize it at first until I saw a little red spot on it. That $40 telescope, whatever terrible optics it used, I was able to see the cloud bands and the moons and a little tiny red dot every few seconds or every once in a while. We live in a Border 4 location in Tucson.
Nice.
It absolutely blew my mind. And for 3 or 4 hours, I was out there trying to hunting for different objects, trying to see what else was out there. I was so into it and so excited. I was mesmerized by what was happening. I couldn't understand how a little plastic tube with some glass or plastic, probably, how that could transfer me across space to get to see something closer. It absolutely blew my mind, and I was so excited. I was so excited to show my son, and I came inside after 3 or 4 hours, and I was not thinking about stress. I didn't have anxiety. I didn't have any PTSD symptoms. I wasn't worried about the day's stressors. Um, and my wife took notice of it, and she basically said, "You need to keep doing that." Whatever that is, that's helping you. You need to do it. So I did some research, got an 8-inch Dobsonian, yes, got a real telescope, and I learned how to use it basically for like a week. And um, I decided, if this helped me so much, maybe someone else would enjoy it too. And I looked up any astronomy clubs in the area. I couldn't find it, but later on I realized David Levy lives right down the street, or David Levy. Um, but his club wasn't accessible or visible on YouTube at that time. And so I decided, heck, I'll just bring my telescope to the Safeway parking lot and set it up and see what happens. And it was a hit. A lot of people came, a lot of people enjoyed it. They asked me, when is this going to happen again? I want to bring my friends or my family or my kids. And we started doing it every week. We made a little Facebook club, and it blew up. Um, it was just really fun, really exciting to get the community together to learn about how different things, how astronomy makes you feel. And I started to dabble a little bit into the mental health side of things on could this be something that awakens a depressed soul, or um, help someone, uplift someone in any way at all. And so yeah, that was the whole turning point. Um, at the time, even though I got out of rehab, I started volunteering at this veterans nonprofit. Um, and that was a year. And that was the time where I was pretty depressed. And that was before I got that telescope. This veterans nonprofit, we put our heart and soul into for a year. And I wasn't really doing anything, just helping doing cleanup and stuff around the property. And it was a startup nonprofit. Well, we found out that um, the CEO of that was embezzling all the donation money. We had asked them for the financials for 6 months, and they refused to give them to us. And we were on the board of directors, so by law we had access to that, but they wouldn't give it to us. So we snuck in and found it in the filing cabinet. We found out they were embezzling. The next day we resigned. We contacted the IRS, and nothing really happened with that until about 8 months later, when um, the owners of the property completely disappeared. I'm not going to name which veterans ranch it is, but yeah, it was very bad, and it gave us, for that veterans ranch, we were feeding veterans and bringing backpacks to them full of food. That was what we were doing. And so when we had to resign, it kind of broke our hearts. And then a week later, this telescope comes into our lives. Okay. And during that week, we were talking about what other nonprofits can we go help out at. I was homeless. My wife was an alcoholic. We want to help the community in some way. So we thought, you know what? Why the heck do you need to be in a nonprofit to do this? How can we trust a nonprofit to do the right thing, or that they're doing the right thing with the money they get from the community? And so we just started doing it. And then we looked into nonprofits and said, this can't be that hard. So we started one ourselves. And that's at that same time we got that telescope, and we decided, we want to bring astronomy and charity work together. What can go, there cannot be anything bad about those two things next to each other. And charity work is uplifting. It makes you feel good. It helps people. It helps the people around you. And astronomy, kind of does the same thing.
Hey,
And so
Carlos?
yes.
Carlos, I gotta stop you for 1 second. I just gotta tell you, the donation wheel's like blowing up over here.
Really?
Mike Y, $100. Paul Berghardt, 80
Oh my
bucks.
gosh.
Charity Walker, $20. Mark Ellis, $100. AstroWorld,
I
10.
didn't even know you guys had that going on.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So in the chat, if you're watching
Oh my,
if you're watching the YouTube stream and not your screen, if you're watching the YouTube screen, I'm putting it on the screen as well. So
Yes.
yeah,
you
if anybody
definitely,
wants
if
to
you want
donate,
Guys,
just hit the dollar button right under where you would type your your chat in the chat. It's a dollar button, looks like a dollar bill. You could hit it there, or you could go directly to rftstars.com and they have a donate button there as well. And just so you know, Carlos, whatever is donated tonight, AstroWorld is going to round that up to the nearest 100, and we're gonna
oh my
get it that way.
gosh.
So
Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. It's I'm gonna get to it in the slides. I don't want to bore you guys with all these things,
no,
but
it's not boring
you're
at
good.
all. Go right ahead.
it
Night is
is.
yours.
It is.
Yeah, please
Thank
continue.
you guys. Thank you guys. Every dollar buys a 3-course meal for our food program. So $10, that's 30 courses or 30 meals.
Wow.
So every single dollar truly helps. That's unbelievable. Thank you guys so much. I'm freaking out and nervous right now.
No, it's glad we could
Okay.
It's
help.
all good. It's all good.
Okay.
You got this.
Crap, where was I? Okay, so we combined the two, astronomy and charity work. Next. Now these slides, I didn't want to put a whole bunch of words and text on them and put you to sleep. But I thought pictures would help, so we're going to go with a bunch of pictures. So first, to be able to start a nonprofit, you have to understand the need. I was talking about before how we all have issues and we all have problems. You know, we looked up what was the biggest thing happening in Arizona, and we had noticed that a month before there was a kid, an 11-year-old kid who committed suicide that 2 streets over from our house. And we looked up the statistics, and Arizona is 17% higher than the national average of youth suicide, anxiety, and stress. And so we thought to ourselves, if we're going to use astronomy to help change people, who's going to get the most impact? Is an adult going to be open to changing the way they think about the world or life or their place on this earth? Or a kid? A kid you can kind of mentor and mold, and they're easy. Adults are a little stuck in their ways, which is fine. And so we thought, we want to help bring that percentage down, whatever we can do. And so we started doing youth programs. This includes classes, telescope lessons, doing Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts, going to schools and doing solar days. And, we wanted to really, really have fun with the youth and get them to understand that astronomy can really have a positive impact on your life. So yeah, the need, here's another little slide with some statistics. The truth about child mental illness will shock you. 25% of AZ teens have anxiety. It can start at age 5. It's very interesting to think about kids having anxiety, but when you think about bullying, when you think about family problems at home, there's a lot of things, including grades, that can cause those types of things. 20 teen suicides a day. That is not in Arizona. That is national, and it involves substance abuse. Stargazing and space exploration is proven to reduce anxiety. Literally, it is scientifically proven to reduce anxiety. Volunteering is proven to heal trauma, and STEM iterates problem solving. So, I haven't gotten to it yet, but we started integrating STEM into the astronomy and charity work as a 3-stage process, a step-by-step process to introduce them to all 3. The STEM is more about figuring out what their interests are in life and what they could do starting at a young age, inspiring them towards science or becoming a an aerospace engineer can launch them on a trajectory towards something that can better the world or better make our future a better place. And so we wanted to bring STEM into this equation. And so that's what we did. All right. Who we serve, I already talked about it, youth. But the youth program is the mental health and is the mental health stuff and astronomy stuff. But we host the monthly star party every month for free for the entire community. We have adult classes. We do. I teach a little bit of astrophotography. Don't come to me for questions. I'm terrible at processing, but everything else I'm okay at. For beginners, I can tell a beginner how to do live stacking or take darks or whatever. But so we help everyone, but the youth are the main program. That's the main mission. So yes. All right. Next, what we do. This is really fun because we don't want to be like everyone else. We want to do things uniquely, and it's interesting because we happen to have made a mission using astronomy to help impact mental health. We ended up making a mission that is one of the only nonprofits in the United States. It is the only nonprofit in the United States doing this work. Whether it's the first one or whether one shut down, we don't know. We're the only ones that have found or have been told that is doing something like this. So it's very unique. We know of one little organization in India doing something similar, which is great. But the goal is to spread this to all the different clubs that we can, or different schools, have them implement astronomy into a therapeutic session of class with the school nurse or anything. Something to distract them and give them, it's a coping mechanism. I definitely use it almost every single day to cope with stressors, with anxiety. I have terrible anxiety. I feel butterflies and nervousness in my stomach almost 24/7. And it's very hard to deal with. But when I'm looking through that eyepiece, it's hard to explain what those feelings bring and how the tension just kind of floats away. And I'm guessing that many of you have felt this too. It is just unbelievable the things that we can do with little items of equipment down here on Earth.
Yeah.
So what we do, we have a few different things that we do. I already talked about the food program. We have a food program. Anyone that needs food, they can come to our house every 2 weeks and pick up a 2-week supply box of food. Now, when someone reaches out and does that, we don't advertise this, but we do it as a surprise. We donate a little Celestron first scope to them. We had a fundraiser a few years ago, and we're able to purchase 20 Celestron first scopes from Starizona. They're little 76 millimeter Newtonians, or it's a Dobsonian basically. But they're nice. They got Teflon bearings, and you can see stuff, but it's a starter for little kids. We can give them anything, and it works. But we ran out of those telescopes, and so we started asking around for little kids telescopes to help us donate them to the families. We've been doing it once a month as a surprise. We want to do it twice a month. We just need a little, all these dusty old telescopes that get dropped off at our door. That's what we're hoping for. I love restoring them and fixing them. So we do a food program. We donate telescopes to families, to low-income families, no questions asked. We do events for schools, colleges, Boy and Girl Scouts, all those types of people. We do astrophotography. you can see my favorite setup. That's my little rig right there, the Red Cat 51 on the AVX mount. And you can see down here in the bottom left a family picking up their food, and they have a Thanksgiving basket, and we give away pies during Thanksgiving and Christmas. Um, we do a lot of really fun stuff, and it's just really heartwarming to know that the community is supportive enough to give us the telescopes that are in their closet, or the ones that are in their backyard in a pile, 2 feet of mud. We've had a 8-inch Orion XD8 that had 2 feet of mud inside the tube. Um, so, but we appreciate everything that the community does. All of the food that we get comes from the community. We don't make any income, so we cannot purchase any of it. Um, if we do have a family that's a special needs family with medical conditions, they can only have, um, you know, those shakes. I forget what they're
Hmm.
called, like the elderly.
Yeah,
Um,
those like boost shakes, or I'm
Yeah,
not sure
something like
what kind.
that. Yeah. So sometimes if a donor gives us money and puts a note on it and says, "I want this to go to a special needs family," we can buy that for them. But other than that, all the food gets dropped off in the bin outside our front door, and we organize it, throw away anything that's expired, and we pack it into 2 week supply boxes and then hand it out to families. We have 316 families right now, I believe, between that and 320, who come every 2 weeks to the house. And uh, I've had a lot of people think that we're drug dealers because so many cars are coming up to the house. The HOA, yeah. Anyways, that's another thing. We work from home. We do not have a building or anything. We do this out of our garage and the driveway. So, um, so yeah, we bring the stargazing to anyone who wants stargazing. We have a trailer, which I'll show you, but you can see it down here, a little 12 by 7 trailer. And it's big enough to hold the best telescope that we have, which was given to us by um, John and Brenda Najlado. They are an amazing couple who had been secretly watching our Facebook page for a year. And they decided to drive down from Montana, where they were staying at a national park, and bring us a 20-inch f5 obsession telescope.
Wow.
Just because they
Wow.
loved what we were doing. They loved that we were doing astronomy for free, which is what they were doing. They would drive around the United States to every national park and give stargazing events for free. And they had this awesome trailer full of solar panels, and they were sponsored by a battery company, and they're really really cool people and so nice. And they just decided to come and donate it to us and drive from Montana. But they loved our mission. They believed what we were doing, and they decided to choose us. They actually had some people reach out, ask to buy it, and they turned it down just to give it to us. And it's
Wow.
unbelievable, and I can't express our gratitude because that telescope kicked off. It was a main attraction and brought people to our organization when they saw it in the parking lot as people driving by on the road. They would turn around and come and ask what the heck that is. Is it a t-shirt cannon? Is it, what is it? So, um, anyways, very, very cool, very, very cool telescope. So, our mission for the astronomy program, blow their freaking minds. If we
Hmm.
can get someone who's never looked through a telescope, come to a star party and look through a telescope or do something astronomy related and not have that wow factor, I doubt they will ever come back when in 5 years when they say, "Hey, let's go to a stargazing event." Nah, how about the movies? We need to blow their minds and give them an incredible experience. I don't know exactly how to do this, but I've literally just thrown everything that I've found from different organizations and clubs and put it into one. As you can see here, we set up telescopes. We put a projector screen on the side of our trailer and show people how to use Sky Safari or Celestron Sky Portal.
That's awesome.
We do that while the sun is going down. Once it's down, we switch it to a red screen, and that's mind blowing to begin with. Seeing a beautiful Sky Safari app planetarium big like that with the 4K projectors. So we do that. Sometimes we'll do EAA and connect it to the 4K 14-foot projector, and that's really fun. We hand out space junk like Milky Way, all different types of candies that have space names or space related. We have signs of different objects that we make signs. So every stargazing event I plan, I figure out what we're going to look at. For that stargazing event, I will make a sheet, an information sheet to hand out to the volunteers to put on the tables so that everyone knows a little bit about the object we're looking at. Because none of us are experts. I don't know the constellations by heart. I know maybe 16 of them. I don't know exactly where everything is in the sky, so it's good to have little information sheets for the volunteers, the telescope operators, everyone. So that's something that we do. We have cosmic brownies and little snacks like that. Next, sorry, I say a lot. I apologize. And at the end of each stargazing event, we ask everyone to get in a group, and we take a group photo and try to get the Milky Way in it if its arc is above where we are. So, and then we send that picture to them as a memorable thing for them to have, and so that they can, look back at it and hopefully come to another one and get interested. But also, we put every type of telescope, besides the really crazy expensive Ritchie Chetrins and stuff like that. We put one of each item out. So a Dobsonian, an SCT, a refractor, a 3D printed little guy, binoculars. We put one of everything to give them an experience with each and try to figure out what one they want or what one they prefer. And then we go from there. If they come back, we know what to talk to them about, and then we'll let them borrow that object for a month. They can use it. I give them a little 2-hour lesson, and they borrow it for a month. And the hope is to inspire them to join the hobby. But for some of us, it's more like a lifestyle, and I know some of you understand that. So yeah, we make it as best of an event as possible. But the funny thing is, I've never actually been to another club's star party before. Once we started doing it ourselves, it blew up, and I really didn't have time to go to another stargazing event. I just never got to it. So I don't know exactly what other people do. This might be the same exact thing. I've seen YouTube videos about star parties and things like that, and I try to take some advice from there, but we just try to do things in a fun and unique way. So there's a telescope. By the way, every single one of these images on this slideshow, none of them are stock images. These are all images that either I or a volunteer have taken. So a lot of people use stock images. So we try to do everything and be original, and just keep in mind. So yeah, here's a few pictures of the Milky Way. If you see any elongated stars, it's absolutely not because I suck at imaging. It's because I had to stretch the images to fit the screen. Okay, definitely, yeah.
Fair enough.
No
Fair
elongated
enough.
stars. I'm learning. I'm getting better. So we also do events, fundraisers. So twice a year we do an event at the University of Arizona Planetarium, and you can see me here giving a speech to the crowd right before the live auction starts, and we gave away like DNA, send your DNA to the moon with LifeShip, the company LifeShip, and really fun space related activities and things like that. So that's another thing what we do, and that's how we raise money for the food program. And then we also do the homeless program. And that's me and my wife. Her name is Kira. She's a COO, and I met her in rehab, which is absolutely crazy. I know. Everyone told us it was crazy, and I absolutely understand that. But the funny thing is that when you both understand addiction, when you both have gone through trauma, um, you understand what signs to look for when someone's having issues or when someone's having a hard time. And her and I, it's incredible. I love her to death. She's an amazing woman. She has the biggest heart, and she is so kind. Um, and yeah, everyone asks to talk to her instead of me when they get to the event. she's she's amazing, and she's just a beautiful soul. But we got married September last year. So we're newlyweds, but we've been together for 4.5 years now, and we've both been completely clean and sober for 4.5 years now. Um, so yeah. Anyways, we also do collaborations with other organizations, companies. We'll do anything to be able to raise some money for our programs. This one right here in the bottom right, Chevy, the automobile company Chevy, reached out to us and said, "Hey, we like what you're doing. We want to deliver a brand new Chevy Tahoe. You can use it for a week for your nonprofit. Tell us your experiences. We'll come send a photography group and take pictures of you and your nonprofit and make a commercial for you." And so that's what they did. They came. We didn't get anything else for it, but they let us use this brand new 2023 Chevy Tahoe for a week, and they literally delivered it from Mississippi to our house, and then flew a team of photographers and a videographer and a behind the scenes guy from different parts of the U.S. to hang out with us for 2 days. So that was really, really cool. And I can link that video in the chat if you'd like at the end. But it's on YouTube. I make YouTube videos and I put it up there. So
Nice.
we do events. These are some pictures of our events at different schools and the trailhead that we do stuff at. But you can see it's a mix of kids and adults. We don't just do kids. I'm sorry. Um, and and yeah, it's just an amazing thing to do. And because the military, because I had an issue in the military and I got injured, that sent me on a path towards this mission. If that didn't happen, I would have never been introduced into astronomy, or if I had bought a telescope for my son, I wouldn't have been as relieved to get rid of that stress, even just for a few moments. Um, I don't know what would happen. But because of that injury, I get a disability now. So does my wife. She has a brain TBI. Um, we both live off of our disability, and that might be too much information, but we try to be as transparent as possible. And we actually got a platinum certification from GuideStar, the nonprofit governing website.
Hmm.
We got a platinum certification for transparency. So we upload all our financials and everything so that the public can see exactly what their money is doing. Um, and and yeah, so that's something we do. But because of that injury, we're allowed to do this now, and we know that this is the passion that we're going to do 24/7 for the rest of our lives. So we're very, very grateful for that, for those experiences that led us to this. So I just want to read a few things. We're almost done here. The
Yeah, no
future
problem.
lies with today's youth and tomorrow's space exploration. Impacting one life positively changes the course of history like a ripple of water for generations to come. Quote from my wife.
Nice.
Be a ripple. I want to inspire each of you to be a ripple and try to connect with someone and get them to look through the eyepiece and follow up with them and see if there's anything that you can do to make their experience better by giving them a different experience, maybe binoculars or EAA or anything. Uh, just be a ripple, be positive, be joyful, and understand that we're very lucky to be living on this earth and uh, and how amazing life is itself. Um, Next is ignite, exploring the universe to inspire those in it. That is a quote for me. That was one of the first things that I came up with, and we were gonna like try to trademark it, but I don't know. Sounds good. Um, we already went over this igniting person and passions. Um, Teach, pass on your knowledge to a group of kids. Kids are eager to learn. Why not give them the answers? Um, yeah, Albert Einstein once said, two things inspire me to awe: the starry heaven above, and the moral universe within. Albert Einstein. Stephen Hawking once said, remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet.
Great.
Yeah. So, give. Help an organization that provides time, money, and resources and space in regards to astronomy, education, and inspiration to youth for free. Astronomy education, exploration, and a environment for change should be easily accessible. Um, it is verified that the love for astronomy can reduce stress and anxiety and assist kids with disabilities, lower suicide ideations, reduce depression, and spark a passion for astronomy careers. And that's what we want. We want them to get interested in astronomy and get excited about school instead of absolutely hate it, and become scientists and astronauts and all those types of things that are going to better the life on Earth. Um, all right. All right. This is an image of the Milky Way band above our area here in Tucson of 33 degrees. I don't know if any of you know this, or know about him. His name's Alistair Simon. He is an incredible astrophotographer. He images this from the he's near downtown, um, in a community, and he images this from his backyard telescope. It's I believe it's over 100 panel mosaic of 560 something hours of exposure, and it's just something really great. I know we all love astrophotography here, so I just wanted to show you guys this, and he's a part of our team. Um, so we're very lucky to have him, and I haven't I haven't gotten the courage to ask him to help me with processing yet. He works at
Well,
IBM. Very smart
I
guy.
I tell you, Carlos, this has been so cool, and we're gonna keep it going. But I want to let you know that Jay, who's also known as AZ Forerunner, he lives in Arizona, and
Yep.
he has
Yeah.
officially invited you and Reach for the Stars, the kids, everyone, to his dark site in Dateland, Arizona.
What?
Yep.
No way.
Yep.
Really?
Absolutely.
Yep.
That
It
is
is really,
awesome.
really cool of him, and we truly, truly appreciate it.
And
And
Thank you
as
so
a
much, guys.
yeah, we'll get the
yes,
email and we'll put you guys in contact with each other.
I've
absolutely.
um I've oh my gosh, that's huge. I've never had the chance to go to an actual dark site. Bortle 4
Is
has always been good enough for me because I can see the Milky Way, but there's so much potential just sitting under the stars of a true dark site. I can't imagine what the stars look like and how many hundreds of thousands pop out. That is so exciting. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, the team is going to be very happy about that. Very excited. They're all at a board meeting right now. I had to leave early. But they wish they could jump in and say hi. But thank you guys.
And yes, and as of right now, we are currently at, if my calculations are right, we are currently at $575 in donations.
You're off by 10.
Right
By
when you
10?
said,
Okay.
565 right now. But
"Oh my gosh,
so
no way!"
so 565 plus that doesn't include the $100 Eric put in on your site.
Yep.
So it's 665. So and it's keeping on
That is
going
more
up.
money
So
than I've ever raised in a single sitting or a single fundraiser. Thank you guys so much. That is absolutely incredible. That is
no,
500
Absolutely.
3-course meals. Unless you put it as you wanted to go to a specific program, homeless outreach, food, stargazing, or mental health. Um, the biggest one right now is food. And then we're going to do a fundraiser for the little Celestron telescopes to give out, unless we get like some used ones in the mail or something from people. There's a lot of people around the world who have been very kind and generous to send us their, the power seekers that everyone hates.
yeah,
Um, Send us like binoculars, all types of random amazing things, broken things. I absolutely love it. I love tinkering. I'm a mechanic, so I like to build Frankenstein or Frankenscopes with different parts and try to come up with stuff to give to families. And so thank you so much, guys.
no.
Seriously, thank you
Absolutely.
so much. I'm so excited to tell my wife when she gets home. Okay. Okay. It is not easy being a nonprofit. We don't make income, so we have to fundraise. We used to do a lot of stargazing events and solar days and things like that, but now what we do is dancing grannies for fundraisers and all these types of things. It's supposed to be a joke. We don't actually do dancing
Dancing
grannies.
grannies. Oh, I was like, wait a minute, dancing grannies. Okay, why not?
There's an old VHS called Dancing Grannies, and it was like a series of like 500 of them of grandmas dancing to get to exercise, and my mom had it, so it always stuck with me. But this was a Zumba fundraiser actually, and it was really fun. I didn't get to dance, but it was it was a good time.
Awesome.
Um, Charity work heals the soul. Here's some pictures of the charity work that we've been doing. Here's a lady who's about to lose her home, and she has dogs, and the community came together, and we got her dog food and a 2 week supply of food. This was the middle one is the Girl Scouts. We do a solar day for them, and they bring us Thanksgiving baskets for our families. And then we give out homeless backpacks. We have the youth do the charity work, so they build the food boxes, they build the homeless backpacks. We put our logo on the backpack so that the homeless can kind of get familiar with it and get comfortable with reaching out to us if they see us around. It kind of builds a little bit of trust. Um, and then we put inside there a laminated sheet of I think something around 80 resources, like food banks, clothing banks, housing resources, addiction resources. So they have that laminated sheet that can't really get destroyed that easily. Um, and so the youth build them, and whenever we have a family come over to volunteer or we have a class, we hand the backpacks out to the different kids to bring home, and then the parents put them in their cars, and whenever they see a homeless person at a stop sign, they can hand it to them out the window. And so that's something that we do. We also have started want we have also started doing homeless star parties. So we'll go to a park where there's a lot of homeless people, and we'll have a team. Our board of directors will come out, and we will do a start, like we'll set up a telescope and watch them come. We'll try to walk around and get them to come over to look, but just to give them some inspiration for a moment. It's really cool when someone who's never seen something sees a beautiful crescent moon or a conjunction or anything, and so it's really fun. And since I used to be homeless, I understand how hard it is when everyone sees you as dirt, and um, a lot of people just try not to even recognize that you're there.
Hmm.
Um, you have no clothes or clean clothes. You have no suit to go to a job interview. You have no cell phone most of the time. You have to go to the library to use the email, and it's a very hard cycle to break out of. You need to put like uh, first month's rent down to get into an apartment. It's very difficult, and there are programs like Section 8 that help, but
Yep.
that's only for one, like housing, not for food or clothing. So we do charity work, and it's really fun. Here's some of the telescope donations that we got. This is a picture of the big stack of Celestron first scopes that we fundraised for. Here's little tiny babies and a 4-year-old, I believe, getting a little baby telescope, just so that they have some memories with it, even though it's a piece of plastic. She loves looking out the window at birds with it, and that's all that we ask for, and that's all we need. Um, yeah, so that's some stuff that we do.
Nice.
Where am I at? This one.
I just
So
got
with the
a
telescopes,
message. I just
yeah,
got a message from one of our members here. And let me see if I can get this right. From Billy Beckett, he would like to, and we'll try to figure this out with you, Billy. He has a Celestron AVX mount that he's only used 3 times, and he would like to donate it to you and to Reach for the Stars. He's going to need some help with shipping. So I'm in contact and I'm chatting with him right now so we can see what we can do to help him out to get it to you.
thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, I think we have $400 or $500 left from the last fundraiser, which can cover shipping. So I think that should be enough.
No, you don't have to worry about that. We'll take care of the
It'll work
shipping
out.
for you.
Yeah, we'll figure this. Yeah, we're gonna figure this out. It's coming from Corpus Christi, Texas, but I'm in chat with him now over Facebook Messenger, and we're gonna make sure that he's able to ship this to get this over to you there in Arizona.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Just send, Carlos, just send me the address you want it sent to, and I'll send Billy the label. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Um, Thank you so much. That is incredible. And Celestron AVX equatorial mount. Whew, that is super cool. That is
Yep,
very,
just
very
like the
exciting.
one, just like because you have one. I think you showed that you have one sitting on that red
Yep,
cat.
with the red
Yep.
cat. But
Yeah,
that's
there
my
you go.
personal one, not the nonprofits. If someone donates, it's an asset of the nonprofit. It won't be sold. It won't collect dust. It'll be used to inspire tens or hundreds of thousands of people per year, whether that's in-person events and online live streams that I do. Um, so it'll be attached to the nonprofit for life. So thank you so much. That is really, really cool. Um, yeah,
That's
thank
awesome.
you. That
Thank
is
you,
awesome.
Billy. That's great. Billy's a long time member from the beginning, so thank you,
Yes,
Billy.
he is.
This is this is
Yep.
something that me and my friend did. Getting equipment, building Frankenscopes, putting all types of random things together to try to make something, crazy and
Yeah.
mind blowing, like massive
Carlos,
binoculars.
I gotta ask real quick.
Yeah,
How did you get that I know the evolutions very well. How did you get
yeah,
that binocular on there and stay there without the telescope? And not only that, binoculars, because when you're using the hyperstar, you got the weight on the back too. So you got the weight on
I'm
the
using the
back
weight. You
too.
can see it.
So
You can see the
so
counterweight. Yeah.
oh my, I can't believe that's like staying there
So,
and not just falling down and smashing.
so the
Wow, Mark,
Evolution is a
thank
beast.
you.
It is.
It's You cannot tighten an SC mount,
Nope.
but you can tighten an Evolution. You can tighten an SC with the bolt on the inside,
Yep.
um, but then it gets really stiff. The Evolution has a clutch, a very strong system. The arm is rock solid. It's a great telescope. Wi-Fi. It's got the battery
Yep.
inside. It's a very amazing system. And Star Arizona let us use this telescope. This was our first ever ask because they live on the west side of town and we're on the east side. So when I went to him, I said, "You do stargazing events every Saturday in your parking lot on the west side, but we have nothing here on the east side. Would you be interested in partnering and helping us with a telescope?" And so he let us use the Evolution. And Dean at Star Arizona, he's
Yep. Dean's the
he's
dad.
amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Dean is
yeah, the
awesome,
Evolution
man.
mount is great.
Yes.
And so yeah, the binoculars are on the Celestron DSLR piggyback mount. You can see it
I can see it. Yep.
hanging on there.
Yep.
So that's it's just a quarter 20 thread. And it went right on there. And with the Titan clutch, I did it just to take the picture as a meme, kind of.
This
But
this is what
it
not
looks
to
kind
do
of
with
cool.
your evolution.
Yeah,
that that's an
talk about
awesome thing.
stressing the motors.
Oh yeah, and you know what? You're exactly right, Carlos. Those for those of you that don't know I work in a telescope store out on Long
Oh,
Island, and those orange rings on the left side where you can see right above, right on the arm, that's the clutch that he's talking about. And there's another one that you can see on the other side of that arm on the base for the azimuth. So with your SCTs, you really don't have that functionality to kind of crank them down in order to hold that weight. But with this, you can. So I just wanted to say that before we got
yeah,
questions.
yeah. I did not actually use this system or move it around. I was worried, but I did want to throw everything on it that I could and take a picture and yeah. So it was fun. Okay, the next thing and the last thing I want to talk about is goals. Where are we going from here? Right now, we're using this. We're using our home as our nonprofit. Um, we Working out of your home, you can't have classes here, so we have to go find somewhere to do a class or lessons like the YMCA or something like that. It's very difficult to have volunteers come here. We can only have one family at a time, especially during COVID. Come and build boxes or backpacks. We have to go to a random location or parking lot to do our stargazing events. So the goal is to raise money and one day have a community observatory and learning center that's open to everyone for free access to space and astronomy and uh, volunteer hours galore. However you want to spend your time, we'll have um, science experiments and STEM equipment and launch rockets. This is our dream, and we're starting with youth in their mental health, trying to give them some coping tools and mechanisms to use through astronomy. But one day we want to branch out and get veterans with PTSD in there, and then go further with that. And we'd like to share this mission with other clubs and organizations. We want people to know that this is a proven method to help people who are struggling. And um, so our goal is to get an observatory. This was a house in Tucson, on the edge of Tucson. Uh, a it was two houses combined together, and it went up for sale. We thought, shoot, we have a VA loan. Maybe we should buy it with our own money. All the advisors told us that was a terrible idea. um, and we started raising last year money, and we raised $30,000 but most of that went towards the programs throughout the year. And so we have about $12,000 left right now in our observatory fund, and that's the fund that we're building. We take 30% of any general donations that we get, and ask the donors if they're okay with us putting it into the observatory fund, and then the rest 70% goes to the gets split up between the programs. But having a facility is the goal. We want to get out of our home, of course. And
Right.
this man, he built this house, and it's got big old garage doors, and it's got a 18.5 foot diameter observatory dome on the back shop. And he was an eclipse chaser and chased eclipses around the world to photograph them. And he left a monster 16-inch SCT in there. He passed away, and the house was abandoned for a year and a half, and everything was left there. And so we were really excited, hoping to reach out to the family to ask for a donation. But a house flipper came and bought it with cash, and so they said they wanted the cash. But anyways, so we're looking for a building, an abandoned building. I will fix it up myself, even if it takes a year. I don't care. We just need a building or land and $50,000 to build a roll-off roof observatory that can fit, 10 to 20 people inside. That's what we can start with, and I'll do it DIY. I don't care. But anyways, we're looking for a building. So that's our goal, and we're hoping that we can spread the word of this mission and implement it in different states. Um, yeah. So yeah, this is me creeping on a building that we wanted.
I see you taking the picture from the window, you know.
Yeah.
We
Real
do
quick.
have some other
Go ahead.
questions here, Carlos, real quick.
Yeah.
One was from JAZ Forerunner. He was wondering, are you pretty much local, or are you thinking of doing something outside of Arizona as far as going around and doing this similar with Outreach and with Reach for the Stars?
So since I'm the CEO of this one, I believe that for now we're gonna have to keep it local, but I'm building a live stream system with a little all sky camera from a Revolution Imager, if you know what that is.
I do. I'm looking at one right
and then-
now.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so those are really great, and that was one of our first purchases to try to do EAA.
Hey,
And
hey, Carlos,
anyways, I
would you like
Yeah.
another one? Because I have one that's sitting right
Yes.
here. I'll send to you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you very much. We can train with that one and use that one at star parties.
You got it.
If we can have two going, that would be sweet. Thank you very much.
No problem. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, so the goal is to do live streams and spread the word on YouTube, and there could be 10,000 people who watch that video over the next 6 months and talk about it with their friends. So that's the only way I can really see myself implement or reaching out to other states. I don't have the money or means to travel. Maybe if a company or news outlet hears about the story, hears about the mission, wants to fly us out and give an interview, that's the only thing I could think of. But we do travel around Arizona in the trailer. We go to low income communities and low income apartment complexes and set up right in the center. And hopefully people see us when they get off work. We just try to spread the word as best we can, but we've only been able to do it in Arizona so far and on the live streams. So
Eddie Z had a question. Have you thought about doing anything with nonprofit scientific grants?
yes, so we just hit our 3 year mark, and for grants, especially federal grants, you have to be 3 years old. You have to be an established organization. Now, we are completely approved. We're a 501c3 charity, which means if you donate to us, you get a tax exemption. We are a certified charitable organization, which means you can get a tax credit from us, $400 single, $800 for joint. And tax season's coming up, so we're trying to tell people that we're actually certified. Yeah, so we we do our best to do grants. We actually trained and did a lot of online classes, free classes and some paid classes, learning how to write grants. They're very in depth, very detailed. All of them are different, so you can't just copy and paste answers. You have to be very specific with things. And we've written over 80 grants. Some of them just $100, $200, $500, $600, $2,000, little grants like this. We've written over 80 grants. We have an entire Excel sheet with all of them and all of our answers so that we can refer to them. And we've received 12.
Wow.
And that's in a year and a half since we started applying. You can apply for little grants and different company grants and things like that without being 3 years old. But yes, now that we're 3 years old, we want to. We can't hire a grant writer. That's usually what organizations do. But I would like to find a mentor who would be willing to maybe give some advice, or even a volunteer, a retired grant writer who wants to help a nonprofit. It's just really a wait and see kind of thing, and just try and try and try to write them ourselves.
Well, Carlos, I don't want to make any promises that this is just coming up, but I know somebody who is an SRO, and I don't know if you know what an SRO is, but basically, it's a person that reads grants and forwards them to the president. so, no promises.
Okay, I get what you mean. Yeah, so it's like an evaluator. They see if it's passed all the or checked off all the boxes to move on.
Exactly.
Wow.
So
yeah, that would be that I could get some advice from that for sure.
I could ask her. No promises. I mean, but she's retired
fine.
right now, and she might want to do something like that.
I really appreciate your consideration for that. That's very kind. So yeah. I want to show you real quick our website, if that's okay.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I just need to go here and share the different window. So screen sharing off. Whoa, that's my face. Okay, now we go here to window and then Chrome tab. Okay, so this is our website. I'm going to refresh it real quick so that you can see the animations. I spent a year building this website from scratch, and there's misspelled words, and I'm terrible at spelling, but this is it. So I tried to do a theme of colors that you'd see in a narrowband image. So cayenne, magenta, those types of colors. So that's where the color theme comes from. But yeah, www.rftstars.com. This right here is very important. The Reader's Choice 2022 finalist for the Arizona Daily Star. We just won. We tied in the top 3 for best nonprofit in 2022. Now this is insane because we're 3 years old and we're doing this out of our home with a team of 8 people. We tied with the Humane Society, and we tied with Pima Animal Care Center. I don't know how we're competing with puppies and the Humane Society. We won, and there was this huge award thing, and it's surreal to think that this simple $40 Walmart telescope has turned into something beautiful. And I've never been happier before in my life, even when I was in the military making a bunch of money, married, happy, dogs, everything. I've never been more content and at peace than right now. And this, it's all thanks to the community and you guys. If you guys didn't see anything with us, or if you didn't support what we were doing, we could not do this. We completely rely on the community to keep the missions going, and that's scary, but it's the only way we can do it. We can't afford to do it ourselves. But there's a website. It's fun, and then we made a little commercial. It's kind of goofy, but but yeah, I don't know if I want to show it.
I don't know if the sound will come through. I was
I don't know if the
getting ready to
sound
say,
will
yeah. So
but yeah.
Okay. Anyways, this is my latest narrowband image. This was with a 294 MC camera with the Optolong L Extreme filter in Bortle 4. Um, and yeah, this is probably my best picture so far. And if you look closely, it's got some terrible, terrible uh, grain, and yeah. So
you'll be fine.
someone actually said
You'll be fine.
that they
It
would.
just takes practice, man. It just takes practice. That's all.
Yeah,
Little
I really
patience
want
and
to
little
start.
practice.
I really want to start PixInsight, and somebody reached out and said that they would give me 6 hours of lessons on PixInsight as a donation, because they charge like $100 an hour or something. So I'm looking forward to that, because right now I just use Deep Sky Stacker and then Photoshop, and that's it. And I barely know how to use Photoshop. I just kind of move buttons around, and that's it. So
Well, just so you know, one of our sponsors is the Masters of PixInsight, and
oh wow,
yeah. So one of our so Ron Breacher, Warren Keller, and Peter Prull are all personal friends of mine, and I actually went up there to meet with them in October, and we'll see if we
Cool.
can get you some free classes from them in order to either give them to yourself or give them to the organization. So we'll figure something out with that as well.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't know how it's going to go with the one I'm scheduled for now, but I'm excited. Uh, I really need to get better, because the better my images get, the more I can blow mines.
Hey, so that's the story of us all. Trust me.
Exactly.
Yeah. We have case studies and things on the website and testimonials, and I try to make it a nice, fun website, but everything's here. We have all of our events listed and the calendar and everything. And so if you ever want to check it out, you're welcome to. Under ways to help, you can click on any of these. I'm telling you right now, even, like Amazon has something called Amazon Smile.
Yep.
And you basically just choose a charity, and like 0.5% of whatever you purchase goes to the nonprofit of your choice. It doesn't cost anything to you. It's just all you have to do is click a few buttons, and then like we're receiving $60 a month from the 10 people who have signed up so far. Same
But
thing
now
with fries and crow.
consider yourself having 11 now.
Cool.
So what is it? Is
yeah,
it
so
under
we can-
RFT Stars on Amazon Smile, or what is it under?
I believe you just search. So I explain it right here. Add RFTS to your
Gotcha.
Amazon Smile, free of charge. You can go to the link right there, and yeah, you just press activate and then pick a charity.
And since you brought it
I'm
up,
sorry.
Carlos, I just want
Here-
to explain to everybody out there about Amazon Smile. just remember that even though you do it on the website on your computer, if you want to contribute to Reach for the Stars and you use your cell phone to order, you have to set it up differently on your cell phone, or else it will not go to Amazon Smile. The app just goes to Amazon.
Yeah, it's smile.amazon.com.
Yep.
And yeah, the website one is, or the desktop is different than the mobile.
Yeah, very
But
different.
it says right here, I put it in find and then select. So you just type in Reach for the Stars, not RFTS.
Okay,
That's just an abbreviation of.
gotcha.
Same
Yep.
thing with like Fry's or Kroger. Kroger has like 20 different stores that they have, and if you're a Fry's or Kroger rewards, like if you shop there, you can go to rewards, then community, and then add Reach for the Stars, and it does the same thing. It's just a small percentage, and that's it. So that's a small way you can support. If you have ever encountered or came to an event with us, you can leave a review. That's huge. And yeah, so that's that. I have on here like equipment rentals and maintenance and lessons and private events, and these are the different news outlets we've been on, and this one will be added on there next once it's posted, if that's okay.
Yep, absolutely.
And our team, you can see who's here. These are all just my neighbors. Some of them have lost children. Some of them are veterans. So we understand that everyone struggles and everyone needs help. So,
Yep.
but yeah, that's Reach for the Stars. And does anyone have any questions about what we do or how we do it?
I'm looking right now, and at the moment, no, we've just been getting a lot of support. Right now, I think we're around what 625, Dan.
Yeah,
Six.
we're at we're we're at 625 plus.
That is insane.
Well, there's six. Wait, hold on. There's 625 just from YouTube, 125 directly to the RFT site, an AVX mount, a Revolution imager,
Yeah.
and a possible grant reviewer. so,
Yeah.
so
And an Amazon Smile
and an
sign
Amazon
up.
Smile,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes, and
Oh my
I've
gosh.
done it. I've done it on my mobile
This is a-
phone. I've done it on the website. So every time I buy
This
something, I
is a
buy a lot
huge.
of stuff off Amazon. A little bit's gonna go towards Reach for the Stars.
Thank you so much. This is a huge night for astronomy and outreach in general. Thank you very much. That's awesome. I wonder if I don't know how well the camera picks it up, but I wonder if you can see what's behind me. Have you guys picked up any weird
Yeah, so we got it looks like a
questioning?
114, and I see I think the whatchamacallit,
Yeah, we see the Schmidt. We see is that a Mac right there? Or is that a
Nope.
Newtonian?
no, it looks like
There,
we got
the
a
little
one
one
like
back
a
there.
is that a 114? Is it
Yeah, was that
This
a
is
114?
80 maybe? That looks a
little.
little smaller.
It's a 76
7.
millimeter Celestron.
Yeah, it's like the
There you
old comic catcher. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
it's a
that
tiny-
guy. And then
I
you got
love this thing.
the Evolution on the
favorite.
side with the ADM upgrades.
Yeah, you notice anything else about it? I don't know if you can see it.
Well, let me get you.
This was a joke. I was hoping someone would catch it.
Hold on.
What is on there?
Anything right here?
I can't. Let me get.
What
Let me get.
in
Let me
the
get
world
closer.
are
Hold on.
all of those reducers? Are all of those
Yes.
reducers?
Looks like it. It
Oh
looks
my gosh.
looks like there's 4
We got like
reducers
4
on there.
reducers on there.
4 reducers.
There you go. That's awesome.
Hyperstar beware.
Yeah,
That is
that's
so
like a
oh, and
0.12 reducer there. You know.
yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah. So it comes out to 300 millimeter focal length at f1.57, I believe, with 4. One of them is a 3.3 reducer.
That's the old. Was that
Oh,
the old
really?
Mead one?
The Mead,
The old
yeah.
Mead?
Yeah, because it was the old
Oh.
Mead one. Yep.
So I asked my friend if I could borrow his reducers, and another guy heard about it and brought his over to let me use it because I was gonna make a funny video as a joke on YouTube, trying to say like, if you can't afford a Hyperstar, this is what you do, you know. So I'm about to film it, and I'll let you in on a sneak peek. Everyone on Facebook where I posted this, I got like over 100 comments. That's ridiculous. It won't work, but great for being experimental. The focus point will be so far back. The eyepiece will never reach focus. It won't work. I tested it today. I put the eyepiece right where the camera is, and I could find focus with all 4, with all 3, and with just 2. I don't know how, but with all 4, the outer edge, maybe 3/4 of the apparent field of view is clear and sharp, but the last quarter is just terrible.
Nope. Yeah.
But
It's
you
just
can crop
horrible.
that out, right?
Yeah,
Just
you
crop
can
it out.
crop it out. Don't even worry about it. It'll be fine.
There it is.
But the weird thing is with just 3, you have to have the 3.3 Mead in between the 6.2. So you have to have it in the middle position, or else it won't work, which is really weird. But I'm gonna test it out with the camera, maybe tonight or tomorrow,
I'll give
and then
you
make a
the
YouTube
sign of the
video.
cross
Yeah.
right now. There you go.
Yeah, my gosh.
Good luck.
For Hyperstar.
I also signed up. I also subscribed in another, and one of our other, I believe Jay. He also signed up to your YouTube channel, Astro Dragon
Cool.
33. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that one's my personal one. That's not like, I'm kind of leaving it behind because the Reach for the Stars YouTube channel is bigger. It's got all the videos on there, and
Okay.
so I was contemplating, because it's got the same videos as the Astro Dragon, but like 10 more. So I was contemplating getting rid of the Astro Dragon, but that's my nickname, so I don't know. Maybe I should keep it there. But yeah, we have a YouTube channel.
That's
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we got about,
So
looks like, again, we got 605, and AstroWorld will round that up to 700. 625, I'm sorry, with those 625, we'll round that up to 700.
thank you guys.
The mount
That's
from
incredible.
Billy, thank you. The Revolution
Thank you,
Imager,
Billy.
and
you.
the shipping and everything. So it looks like, let's see, 9, 11, 17, 18, 18, 25, 18, 45, plus the shipping. So,
Yeah.
I don't
So-
know what to say. That is incredible.
yeah, with the,
That's definitely by far the most fundraising money we've ever received in one sitting. And I've never done a fundraiser on Zoom besides like Facebook Live, where you put a little donation
Yep.
button. Never have gotten anything. So this is unbelievable. I cannot thank you guys enough for letting me be here. It's an honor to meet you all. I hope we can keep in contact and
Absolutely.
maybe share some stories and some information. I always need help with these random telescopes that show up and I don't know what to do with.
well,
Hey,
well,
you've got my email, and you got my way. You know how to get a hold of me. Feel free, man. You are
yeah,
more than welcome.
all of us are at your disposal. Feel free to email any of us, and got to give Eric the props for finding your organization
Yeah,
about.
thank
Eric was the
you.
one that brought it
Yeah.
to light. So
It's very, very hard for me to ask for donation, especially a specific. If I, you know, if I see something that we could use, and it's not selling, I'm thinking maybe I should ask. I don't know. It's very. You have to really think of the mission and not yourself, because 98% of the time when I ask somebody, uh, I get a whole bunch of hate,
Well,
name calling, all this
yep,
stuff. You think I'm a scammer.
yep.
Um, so it's very difficult to ask. And my wife was the one who told me, as CEO, it is your job to reach out and get the items that we want or that we believe will make the mission work better, or more efficient or more smooth or more inspiring. And so, yeah, I appreciate you being so kind when I reached out to you.
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
you just got
absolutely.
another $100 from my boss at work. So
Gosh.
he
That
just
is so
texted me right
cool.
now. He's like, if I give you the credit card info, can you put it in? And I said, yeah, sure, no problem. So you got another $100 from my boss. I was like, come on, man, I know you got money. Come on. You
Well,
know?
I wish I could see all your guys' names and,
Don't worry, I'll put it
mark you
all
down
in a
in
nice email, and
contacts or something.
I'll type something up with all the donors
I'd
and
love to
everything.
send a thank you letter to you guys. So that is very kind. Thank you.
And no,
Yeah,
that's not a problem.
I truly personally, I've been talking, since you reached out over through Cloudy Nights. I knew this was, I knew you, I just had a good feeling. I knew you weren't a scammer and or anything like, you were saying, how other people were looking at, when you were asking for assistance and donations. I knew you were doing something positive because full disclosure, I, I've gone through with my family addiction. My God bless my sister and her husband have been married for a very long time. They met each other just like you met your wife. They met each other through rehab, and they are doing amazing things together. I'm so proud of them. And what your story, you know, just resonated with me. Being a fellow veteran and understanding what you were trying to accomplish with these kids, because I'm a dad of three, and one of and my children, I understand what they can go through, what other kids can go through, because kids can be mean, man. Kids can be mean sometimes,
Yes, I
especially when it
can.
comes to
It's
especially when it
all
comes to
about who
bullying.
has the best jokes and who has the best, name call.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
I hear it all played out front.
and it was, and so what what your mission is, it truly resonated with me to help these children out through something that we all can we all agree with it in on this channel, that we all enjoy and love doing, which is astronomy and astrophotography and everything like that. I just had to be able to reach out and let me hear your story and get you on our platform and have this platform to have an opportunity for others to hear about you. And I'm so glad this has worked out the way it has, man. I really am. So again,
I
so
did not
personally,
expect this at all.
to all of everybody in the chat and everything, Dan, thank you. Really, thank you.
Here, here.
I'm trying to
Seriously,
fix
thank
your
you, thank
picture because it's all messed up here. So I apologize if you're moving back and forth a little bit. But yeah, there you
you. It's not
go.
me.
But yeah, Carlos, maybe this went over really, really well. I mean, I think this is the most we've actually raised in one night between equipment
Yeah.
and
Really?
yeah, between equipment and and money donations, we're almost at $2,000 when you add in the equipment and everything.
My
So
gosh.
we're pretty close to that. So we could even make
Well,
this a
if
yearly thing. We could
Yeah,
do this
maybe.
once.
Yeah, I absolutely. I want you to keep in touch with me, man. I want us to keep in
I
touch.
would like to
And
become a member, if that's possible, for AstroWorld, You guys
Absolutely.
have been doing some
Yes.
amazing work and have been teaching and sharing stories and sharing ways to be better. And I look up to that, and I hope to have some type of connection with you guys long term, build a relationship.
Absolutely, we would love that. We
No
would
Absolutely.
strings
definitely love that.
We would
You
love
know,
it.
you know,
Charity, thank you. Charity is saying Carlos and crew. Even if you don't believe, I'll be praying for you. So thank you, Charity. Really
Thank you so much.
appreciate that. Scott, Eddie, Billy, definitely. Thank you so much for your generous donation of that AVX mount, man. We
yeah,
really appreciate
unbelievable.
it.
Really put us over the
Everyone
edge with that.
who's taken who's taken time out to be here with us and hear Carlos's story and be so generous, coming from the heart. Thank you.
Yeah.
And there's a Revolution imager that I swear I was actually looking at it. It was right here. So
If I put that with the AVX, I think we could do longer exposure with better resolution, maybe, because it's right now I'm using the Revolution um, at the events with a little uh, Virtus Skywatcher
virtuoso. Yep.
Virtuosio mount,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
little
Yeah. Yeah.
tabletop.
Yep. Yep.
So having an actual equatorial platform and finding an OTA for it, I'm excited. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean,
If anyone who's donated wants to know where their money is going to go, we will post exactly what we're doing with it, including the pictures of the deliveries. If we're doing food, if we're doing a telescope donation, um, you will see where your money, every single dollar, you can see everything, and so you can see the impact you've made. So
yeah. Everybody through the entire chat has just been saying all night all these uplifting statements about
man,
the
I'm gonna
work
have.
you're
I
doing.
can't wait to watch it back because I can't see it. I just see the
Yeah.
screens right now.
Yep, yep. You could definitely the chat will still be there on YouTube. It's not going anywhere, and I'm going to be putting up the recorded version of it tomorrow.
Cool,
It'll still
awesome.
be there live, but you could catch it on the live
Okay.
side. But we put it on the recorded side as well, and just keep on fighting the good fight, man. I mean, it's definitely worth
Thank
it,
you.
bro.
Yeah, recovery has been extremely smooth and easygoing, and I haven't thought about you know painkillers or anything for years. And I don't know how to express my gratitude for myself for following my heart, following the positivity that I feel through astronomy. I don't know how to. It's surreal.
Yeah.
I get to live my passion 24/7, doing astronomy all day, and helping others. And it's just that terrible injury and that addiction and homelessness led to the happiest time of my life, and this is going to be the rest of my life type of thing. So
That's completely
yeah,
awesome. And the story that you tell in the beginning, and your the trials and the devastation that you went through in the beginning with the accident and going straight through to the painkiller addiction and straight through. I mean, I don't know. I'll be dead honest. I don't think I would have that type of fortitude that you had, because I mean, it's just incredible to not only to go through that and come out the other side a better person, or even somebody that's that's gone through that and been able to turn it around to something positive is just completely
yes.
amazing.
Well, I'm here to teach others how to do the same thing. So I hope one day that I can really change an adult's life too, like a veteran with PTSD or something.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. 'Cause there's a
so
lot of people out there.
are you guys doing any imaging tonight? Are you guys? I know. Do you have another special guest on or?
No, no, totally cloudy over here in New York.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
big
Oh, you're in New
mess.
York.
I'm in Long
Okay.
Island, yeah. So
yep. And I'm
I
in
just do
Illinois.
narrowband in New York. That's really it. I live right on Long Island, right in the light pollution capital of the world, and
What is it, like 8 or 9 or something, or
I
what?
think they raised it to 9.
Oh,
I think they're trying to find a different we call it off the rails on the show, and basically it's the off the rails level. I mean, it's out of there. I mean, if you look
it's
at a
terrible.
map, it is stark white on Long Island where I live, and it's
That's
horrible.
man. That is really yeah. That sucks.
Yeah. Right now, I'm hoping I've been following, Windy. I've been following
Astrospheric.
Astrometric, Astrospheric, Clear Outside. We're hoping Friday and Saturday are going to be clear enough that maybe I can get back out there, because I've been working on a project. It's called the Onion Nebula, Abell
Mhm.
85. I've been working on that. Whenever we
Oh,
can
cool.
get clear, whenever we can get some clear skies, but you know how winter can be. But I tell you, here in the Midwest, it's awful.
So
Yeah, I
so
mean,
you said Friday, Saturday, Eric.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
So so
at
that
least that's what I'm
means
seeing right now.
so that means
Yeah, so that may
Sunday,
be for you
Monday.
guys. It may be Sunday, Monday, or Saturday,
It's gonna
Sunday for
come to New
you.
York, and maybe that'll be
Yeah,
okay. But
so you
I
may
mean,
be able to
it's
get out there.
well, I am so you know why? Because I'm so stoked because my project of putting this telescope together is complete. I finally got the flattener, not a reducer, just a flattener for my astrophysics 130 scope that I have.
Oh my
Um,
goodness, that is
and
sweet.
yeah,
Woo!
I finally got the flattener. I ordered it in June. So I just
What, 2010?
no. I spoke to Roland personally, who
Oh,
is who runs astrophysics, who's the creator of astrophysics, and
wow.
he was like, "Oh, just give me 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks," and 2 weeks turned into 6 months, and he's like, "Okay, it's done. I could send it to you, but it's not going to have the astrophysics sticker on it because I don't have any stickers made." I said, I don't care
Oh,
about the sticker. Give me the
Hey,
sticker
about
later.
that.
Email me.
send it to me later.
Yeah, just put it in a Manila envelope and just send it to me. But I got the flattener, and then when I got the flattener, of course, I forgot to order something from Precise Parts, and
Oh
I
no.
needed another adapter, so I had to wait another 4 weeks. And believe it or not, usually it's 4 to 5 weeks for something from Precise Parts because it's all custom adapters. They got it to me in 3. So,
They make
um,
Nice.
so that you give them the specs in the CAD or whatever, and they build a part for you.
yeah, so
Like
if you
Yeah.
go to
late.
preciseparts.com, they have the drawing specs of a number of scopes, flatteners, focusers, rotators, anything you want. And you go scope side and camera side, and it puts it together and it shows you a drawing and it says
Yep.
you want to buy it, and $200 and 4 weeks later you got it. So, you know,
Wow,
but,
custom parts for
Yeah.
astronomy.
yep,
That's
Yeah.
cool, and
yep.
that's good to know.
Yeah, and let me tell you, if you need anything, you need to contact me first
Yeah.
because
Contact
I
me
have
first.
about $3,000 worth of Precise Parts stuff in there that I
Hmm.
don't use because I've changed my rig so many times that so all I got to do is measure it up and find out if I have the right one for you. So let me know.
Gotcha.
but I mean, this has
Yeah.
been an
That's
amazing
cool.
night. Amazing
Yeah.
night.
What about is it Scott?
Scott, yeah,
Is that
on
Yeah.
the
your name?
bottom, yeah.
You
Yeah.
got any
I just
plans?
been sitting here listening, um, and there's a few things that I wanted to say offline. I'll wait until we go offline because I don't want it to go out for broadcast. But one of the things that I did want to ask you, you said something about building your own website. Did you do it yourself?
Yeah.
You did it
I,
yourself. Okay.
I used Wix, and Wix
Uh-huh.
is like, you see those ads for
Yep.
drag and
Yeah.
drop, all the type of thing.
Yeah.
It's not that easy.
Yeah.
You have to
No.
choose the color, the font, everything. There's so many pieces to a website. All the links, the anchors, the pictures with links, it's a lot. And when you're trying to
Yeah.
build a nonprofit, you don't exactly know what it is yet, and you have these different programs. It was very tough to figure out. So it took like 8 months for it to fully come together. And now I think it's pretty good, but I really, really want to build, start building an astronomy outreach page. Everything I've learned about outreach, how to do it, different unique ways to do things, a guide for people to go out and have their own star party in a great way. So that's coming.
Yeah. Well,
But
you
yes,
see this. Well, I can't really, but the AstroWorld logo
It's on
that
my
you see
screen on
floating
the
around.
bottom.
yes,
it's
yes, yes,
on
yeah.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's we built that for the show, but that
It's a great logo, and
one
it
of the
spins.
one of the things that I wanted to offer to you was the ability to go through what you did, and what you did without any formal training is pretty impressive, but the thing that we can bring to the table is a master's degree level mind, when it comes to UI UX design and professional website design.
Wow,
That's what we
it's like
do
developer,
here at Stillwater
like
Studio.
developer mode.
So
Wow.
yeah, so if and offline, one of the things we can do is get kind of the rundown on what you've got, and
Mhm.
and talk about the credentials to go in and take a look at it, and we can pick it apart. Not the actual online one, just the one that we can look at and give you some insight as to how you can make it even better.
Well, thank you. I'm really trying to hone in on. I've done a lot of research on SEO and how to make it as best
Yep.
as possible. So when someone searches something, it comes up faster or better or explains something better. So I'm really trying to get every single page, picture, everything with an SEO description and added. So that's what I'm working
Keywords
on
is a
now.
website nightmare. I mean, that's what it is. Keywords are the worst, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can
But
be really challenging, especially when you're looking at a $7,000 or $8,000 price tag for a website
Yep.
or more. Some websites are,
yeah.
10, 12, 15,000,
Yep.
depending on the content. So it can be intimidating. It can be very scary. A lot of people, they turn to the cookie cutter approach, and for good reason, because they either can't afford it or they're just too intimidated to hire somebody that can build it custom for them in an application like WordPress. So
Yeah. What kind of telescope do you have, Scott?
I also have a Frankenscope. It's a
Yeah.
14-inch Celestron.
Oh, the C14.
Yeah,
This is
super.
such an iconic telescope.
Scott,
It's so cool.
is
Yeah.
it still in your lanai, just waiting to be
Yeah, it's
used,
still in the
or?
line.
No,
It is
it's
still-
been
it
it's
has
been
the
outside a
same
couple of
rainbow.
outside a couple of times, and I've gotten some some imaging done.
No way! Really?
Do you have a Hyperstar, or do you have a you
No,
run it off the back
I
with off
use
axis?
no, I don't use a Hyperstar. I have a there's an Eagle 3 Pro onboard computer for it, and it has a William Optics GuideStar 51 that I use for polar aligning and also for guiding for the Hyperstar at the front of the scope. But it has a one of the big purchases we made for it was that harmonic drive mount from Rainbow Astro. It's the RST 300.
Nice.
But Pete Myers was really the genius behind helping me to put this
Put it all
together.
together.
It's a Franken. You definitely appreciate it. If you like Frankenscopes, you'd appreciate it. It's pretty freaking wild.
Yeah, you got to send him a picture when you got a sec. Definitely.
Yeah, that's easy. I can do that.
Yeah.
So is it?
They talk offline.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Everything is already online everywhere, anyways. But is it okay if I share my screen with my my email?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Instagram or YouTube and website, just so the followers, if anyone wants to follow or see what the more reducer video comes out to. I don't. Yeah. If that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Okay.
No, not a problem.
Let me
Not a problem.
I'm gonna type it.
As a matter of fact, Carlos, I don't know because a few of the folks were asking if you were able to go on YouTube and join the chat on if you can go on YouTube right now. Maybe if you open up like another browser window, go to YouTube and look up AstroWorld TV. And then you can join the chat of the live show right now. A few people were asking or made some comments here, and we're hoping that maybe you can join in the chat, or you can, because they were leaving some comments for you.
Yeah, just some links
bunch of Bravo
put in though. So
yeah, bunch of Bravo Zulus, and just showing you a lot of love here. So if you like to do that, feel free.
Well, the community that you have behind you guys is incredible, and I really hope to get to that level someday and collaborate with you guys on something else.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're very grateful to you.
So if you need us to do something for you, as far as maybe make a presentation for the kids or whatever, we're at your disposal. So I mean, we'll help you out any way we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And you got one of my scopes over there. I just I started thinking, because of somebody made a comment on one of because also I have my own private personal YouTube channel as well, and made a comment on like some of my cable management. So so I'm going to start learning. I got myself a multimeter. I'm gonna get myself a soldering kit. I'm gonna start learning how to make my own USBs cables. I'm gonna learn that.
Another one for you. There you go.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm gonna give it a shot.
I'm just gonna buy the 1-footers and be done with it. I can't be bothered.
Yeah. and as well as I want to try to check. I want to play around with the Anderson power pole.
Do you want to?
I want to learn how to play around with the Anderson power pole, and start doing that with some of the stuff I've got.
Hold on a second. I could help you with that. Hold on a second. I gotta get up and do this.
Get a crimper and all the other sort of stuff to start making my
own
power cables. Oh, there he goes in his closet. There he goes in his closet of death. He's dropping things all over the place. Trust me, if you start hearing an avalanche come down, see, this is what I'm talking about, bro. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Would you like it?
I like that PD. I like that power distribution setup. I like that.
Would you like this?
I would. Of course, I would like it.
Okay, then you got it. I'll send it to you.
It is just a charity giving night tonight.
I have the ends. I have the wire. I have the ends. I have everything. If you want, I have a 30 amp hour battery that runs this too, and it could all be yours. So, come up with a price and
we will talk offline.
No problem. This is great.
That squared away. But yeah.
40 amp in. 40 amp.
Oh, nice. That's plenty. That is plenty, dude.
That'll
For
run
everything
your
we got
entire
there.
kitchen.
You guys are
Oh
freaking
God,
awesome. I love the dynamic between you guys. It's
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 awesome.
it's nuts.
You
It's
know,
nuts. Yeah, that
Eric and
ring
I
runner
have been together on the show for about 3 years now.
for years.
Um,
Okay.
the show is on its fourth season now. There was a season before. Scott, I believe, was about 2 years. He's coming up on his
Yeah,
2 year
2 years.
anniversary. Pete, and I was saving this, but Pete is on Saturday gonna be hitting his first 1 year anniversary with us,
Oh,
and
nice.
Jesse a couple of months later. So a lot of people have been around for a long time, and it's been a hell of a ride. It's been a lot of fun.
It
We've
has
been
been.
made a lot of good friends, a lot of good contacts, and you're our actual second real fundraiser. We did a couple other little ones, but you're the second real fundraiser that we've done, and
I
we're looking to build this into a quarterly thing for a fun. It's just a way to give back. A
Yeah,
Give
fundraiser
back.
every
that is
quarter
really really
to
cool.
kind of give back to the community. I mean, it's really really, it's really interesting when you come up to
Yeah.
and meet people like yourself and you doing what you do. I'm sure it's not easy. And just any way we could help, that's what we're here to do. So
Thank you. Yeah, at first we started with, the 8-inch Dob that we bought on Craigslist for $250. Um, we started with that, and so we had the $40 Walmart telescope and then
yep.
the 8-inch Dob. And people would come, we'd meet at the parking lots, and then we found a trailhead nearby that was on the outside of town, and we started to meet there in Facebook, and people would come, and so we had two, like a telescope that maybe could look at a planet or two, the Walmart one, and then stop. And we had over 100 people, so there's line, a long line. And so that's when I decided, maybe there's some people who have a telescope that they bought years ago that they look through it, didn't know how to use it, and put it away. So I started asking if anyone had something, if they could donate it, and you know, and then it blew up from there. And so now
Yep.
we have we have some equipment from different people around the world, and we're always looking for you know um, binoculars because I'd like to have 10 binoculars for a class of 10 kids, so they each have one. Um, Microscopes. We just got a couple microscopes from the university that they're old ones that they're cycling out. Um, yeah, looking for a guide camera, and I don't know, that 2600 MC Pro looks quite nice.
it
I don't
does.
know.
It's an awesome camera.
That's
They do.
that's the
Yeah,
dream
there's a
for
bunch
the
of us that have that.
Yeah.
that's
It
the
is a
dream
nice
for the
camera.
That for me. That for me is the dream too.
Uh, the,
really?
the 2600 MC, I had the pleasure of borrowing it for 6 months. And somebody from AstroWorld who lives on Long Island said, "Oh yeah, I'm not using it. Just take it." So I took it, and I took it to Cherry Springs Star Party twice. And let me tell you, that 2600 is a beautiful camera. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is.
that's the dream for the observatory one day,
There
and
you go.
what's also the dream, of course, is just wishful thinking, but one day, we're still young. I'd like to have the Alistair Simon, the guy who took the
Hmm.
Milky Way images. Um, he works at IBM, and he's a software engineer. He does all these things. He built his own remote observatory. He can control it when he goes to Germany for a business trip and take mosaics and make beautiful images like that. He said that he would um, create the remote system and wire it and bring all the components together. And so we'd like to give any donors and clients the opportunity to use the telescope for free remotely one day. So that's just an
That's
idea
awesome.
that I
That's
have.
great.
That'd be an awesome way to give back to the people, to those donors and stuff like that. That'd be really cool, Carlos. Absolutely.
Yeah, some free Arizona dark sky time.
There you go.
So I just posted my information. Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry. I posted it, but they're all mashed together. Let me fix that. Dang it.
Yeah, and because the 2600 MC, that's going to be definitely my next camera. Because honestly, this one I have right behind. Let's grab this guy, because this one has this one's the 2600 mono.
Yep.
It's
Okay.
got the filter with it and everything. So
Yeah.
This is
mono would be fine too.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to get, I want to get the color for my other telescope, for my Rasa. So yeah.
I'm the hated one of the group because I like other types of cameras, so I went QHY, and
too sick. Maybe when I get my little when I get this little bugger when I get this little bugger going, this is the Melee.
Yep.
Yeah, my little Melee mini computer. That this is gonna have Nina. I'm gonna put Nina on this.
Perfect system.
And everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shut up. Stop that. That's
an Eagle. It's an Eagle 4.
That's his. That's him showing off.
That's beautiful.
See,
yeah,
I have the ASI Air. I have the ASI Air version 1.
Yeah, that's the Eagle is a full it's a full onboard i5 12 volt, full system computer that it's on board, and it will literally control everything.
This has
just showing up.
Yeah, I'm totally showing off. So 8 USBs, full power, will power everything. GPS, HDMI out for outreach, so you could do the outreach.
That's cool.
It's got USB-C, so if you want to transfer your images quick, runs 3 dew heaters up here.
Nice.
Runs Windows 11, and it's got an SQM meter. So it'll tell you how dark your sky is, plus Ethernet in, full Wi-Fi if you want it.
Bad, you know what?
But it's also it also retails for $21.95. Whereas
I could see that though.
$200, you get this.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So trust me.
Which one is that? The mini?
This is the mini. This is the mini that has yet to be opened. This has not to be opened yet.
With these guys. I'm all good. Thank you very much.
I have an ASI Air version 1.
I have one too, the white box.
I have one too.
Yeah.
I have one of those too.
And so I'm hoping to upgrade to either the mini, but I think I want Ethernet, so I might just go with the Plus or the Pro.
Yeah,
but
I don't even know. It doesn't have
the one downside to the ASI Air is the Wi-Fi sucks.
That's why you need the Ethernet.
That's why you need Ethernet.
Yeah.
That's why
Ethernet is perfect. You do it off your own Wi-Fi, so you actually can use the internet while you're imaging.
I don't think you've ever used the Ethernet, have you, Eric? You always run hardwired.
That's mine. Yeah. I've got.
He's got a wire.
That's how I run it. I run it right from the backyard, from the pier, all the way here to the router. Yeah,
that guy's got about 18 miles worth of Cat 6E in his house. So
mine is 300 feet. 300-foot Cat 7 cable from Amazon for like $40.
There it is.
Yeah.
Nice.
You get any dropout or lossless on that? At that length?
No.
No,
Over
that's good.
over 300 and over 325, it starts to slow down.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
with the Cat 8 cable,
Wow.
it's faster than Wi-Fi by far. It's just instant.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
very
Yeah.
nice.
so what I'm reading on Cloudy Nights, and the reason why I have this isn't because I need it. It's just because I work in a telescope store and I can get it. Um, but my plan is to very, very carefully open this and like reseal it. No, just kidding. But I want to see because I've been
Just
reading
kidding.
on Cloudy. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm keeping this. But I want to see. I've been reading on Cloudy Nights that actually the heat map of the ASI Mini versus the ASI Air Plus, the Mini's Wi-Fi is actually better than the Plus.
That's what I
So
heard.
that's what I'm reading. I don't know if it's true or not. So I'm gonna
Maybe
heat
it's got
map it. I'm gonna put it in my
aluminum
backyard.
shell or something.
Oh, is that?
Maybe it's got a thinner aluminum shell or something. I
Maybe,
heard that.
maybe. I don't know, but maybe it's a better antenna. I see the antenna is a little different.
That's a thick
You know,
antenna.
so I don't know, until I open it. I literally have had this for 2 weeks and the plastic is still on it. I just haven't had the time to do anything. But
Gotcha.
but that's the plan. I want to see boot up. I want to see Wi-Fi. I want to see data transfer, and that's all I want
Yeah.
from it. And see.
Yeah, because with me having this mail, having the melee and everything, at some point, I might actually want to try the player one.
Yeah,
I think it's the
sure.
player one Poseidon.
Yep, the Poseidon. Yep.
The Poseidon's
The camera?
Yeah.
which is the
Okay.
which is the 2600 I
Slash
believe.
268
Sensor?
slash.
268, but it's from player one. I want to start being able to use more than just ZWO products. So
And the
that's
Melee
why,
does that? The Melee allows that?
The Melee's
yeah,
a Windows
because
computer. So
it's just a
Oh, okay,
Windows
cool.
computer, and I'll just install Nina on this and run everything off of this little guy. Because
That's cool.
because it's a Windows 11 Pro computer, and and it has enough space on here where I can install. I have Nina installed, PhD guiding. I've got fire capture and sharp cap already loaded on here. It's just
Wow.
now a lot of other things, a few other apps.
I didn't realize that you could have those programs on that little computer. I thought
yeah.
you had just
Oh, yeah.
connect that
Oh,
to
yeah.
your laptop
no,
and do those
let's
programs.
This is
that's
the
the
computer
Eagle
itself.
2. That's the Melee. Anything with the Windows computer capability, you could load anything you
So-
want on there.
How do you control fire capture when you're connected to that with your phone?
Windows
is that-
desktop.
Yeah, Windows desktop.
So desktop
Using
emulator or
Windows-
something?
Yeah.
No,
Remote
it's
desktop.
it's a direct connection from Windows. Windows 11
Yep.
comes with a program called Windows Desktop Connection, where you
Yep.
you log in directly through the IP address.
Yep.
And so
Exactly.
you have your laptop out there and it's just connected to it.
No, you have your
Yep.
laptop in the living room while your computer's outside freezing, and
Okay,
and
gotcha.
you just go in and you just travel over the Wi-Fi onto the
'Cause
wireless network, and that's it.
Because I was thinking, since it's a computer itself and all the programs are in it, all you would need is a screen and a mouse.
That's all you use the laptop for is a screen and a mouse. That's all you use it for.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. That's
And,
cool.
and the best thing about it is if your laptop crashes, doesn't matter because the computer outside is still running.
Right.
That's
cool. I have a quick question. I know you guys are way smarter than me about this stuff.
No, that's okay.
So I just forgive me, I just started using and learning how to do flats, darks,
Sure.
and bias. I've got them as best as I can. They're what they're supposed to be. I go to Deep Sky Stacker, load all the images,
Okay.
try to do the recommended settings. I don't exactly know what they all mean, but I sometimes switch them around or whatever. But the output is just black with a few tiny stars, and the
Yep.
histogram is a single peak, just a peak. There's no drop off.
It's all the
There's
way
no
to the
curve.
left too.
It's just a complete peak, and no matter how many layers of curves I do, or how many layers of levels that I keep boosting and stretching and stretching and stretching, that peak does not move, and I can't get anything more than a few stars. I Maybe it's my darks that are screwing the whole thing up, but I can't. Like I did like 6 hours of Thor's head nebula,
Okay.
um, or Thor's helmet, not head.
I gotcha.
And then the Christmas tree cluster at Christmas, it's just like I could not get any. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, so sometimes some of the rejection may be incorrect. It may be rejecting too much, so that's why you're just seeing black. It could be
Are you talking about like threshold?
thresholds, yeah.
Okay. I can't go any less than 2% though, and it's only seeing like 90 stars, even though I can
No,
only
you
see
should
like.
no, in Thor's helmet you should be seeing hundreds.
Okay, then
So,
Yeah.
something's wrong then, because
yeah.
I'm at 2%, and it's only getting up to like 96 stars. So
Try less. Can you go? I'm trying to remember Deep Sky Stacker. It's been a while. Can you go less than 2%, or is that the
no,
lowest?
that's maxed.
You know what you do? I'm gonna send you a link to a folder on Google Drive,
Okay.
and just drop some of the lights, some of the darks. You don't have to do a whole project. You know, like maybe 20 of each. Dump them
Yeah.
in there, and I could try it on Deep Sky Stacker and see if there's anything there, and then tell you what I
Okay.
did.
That would be great.
Yeah, that
Because
I can definitely.
I have like 9 or 10 um, images, everything. I did darks and flats and vias for each one. I did
Mhm.
6 hours of each object, and I have like 9 of these that I can't process.
Yeah.
So something.
So what I'll do is I'll send you an email with it, and then I could definitely. I'm pretty good with Deep Sky Stacker, so I could definitely take a look at it for you.
I've just been using ASI Studio, and the output of that is the quality is just, I don't know, it's not good. But that's the only 2 things that I can do. I don't know how to use Surreal. It's too complicated.
Cyril. Yeah.
Sequitur
Cool.
Mhm.
Sequitur won't take the FITS files,
Right.
so I have to go to pip, and I don't know. All those files just get kind of lost. And then
Just
you go try to
Do you
find
have
them. So
PixInsight yet?
I'm sorry.
Do you have PixInsight yet?
No, I haven't bought it yet.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Eventually, you're gonna want to go that route. It may save you some stress. You
That's
know.
why I'm so excited because I'm ready. I got files waiting.
Well, I mean, not for nothing, but the masters of PixInsight and the programs that they have there. I mean, you can literally, for a couple of $100 get everything you need to learn the basics. And I mean, you may not even have to spend anything. We may even be able to hook you up so that just get the classes. But they make it so easy to
Yep.
understand what's going on in PI.
The drag and
And I
drop
mean, you can
thing.
go down that rabbit hole as deep as you want,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
The
I'm
action
very
is
those
great.
boys,
Yeah,
they
it's-
definitely know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ron, Warren, and Pete. I mean, those guys are just
I think it's Ron.
Ron Breacher.
It's either. Does he have like long white hair?
That's my buddy
Yeah,
Ron.
that's
Yep.
Ron.
Yep. So that's who's teaching me.
Oh, let me tell.
He's gonna
I
do it.
still take lessons from Ron to this day.
Cool.
I've been
One
taking
of his
lessons from Ron
friends-
for about 3 years, and
Yep.
his teaching style for me is just it's top notch. I mean, he doesn't talk down to you. He teaches.
Excited.
Yeah, and he's kind of like laid back. So he's like, we're just. He's like the Bob Ross of PixInsight, and that's he's like, we're gonna put a little nice happy tree right here.
Pretty much. That's Ron.
Oh yeah, him and Warren is awesome too. Warren's a little different, but he is just as good. Those guys are just awesome. Pete is an astrophotographer and does a lot of awesome shot. The guy's a whiz, but he is more of the behind the scenes, and he runs everything. He runs the shows, he runs the website, he does all the other stuff. Those two teach, and Pete runs everything else.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I'm very excited.
Oh yeah. Let's say if you got 6 hours with Ron, just take it an hour at a time, 2 hours at a time. Don't do.
Yeah.
You won't do 6 in one day, I don't think. But but you take an hour or two a day and go in there. Say, listen, Ron, I want to learn this, and he will teach that to you to his utmost knowledge of that. Even if it's WBPP on just how to stack, he can take a 6-hour class and just teach it on that. But there's a lot to do with it. But it's awesome. You're gonna have a good time with him.
Awesome.
Yeah, and record the session.
Yeah, he lets you record the session.
He does.
Yes, he does.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Cool.
And Sean Nielsen also, who's in the chat right now, also does classes as well.
Yep.
So got to give him a shout too. He does classes as well. So he's at visibledark.ca, and
That's a cool name.
if you haven't
Yeah,
seen his,
check Sean out on YouTube.
yeah, he's got
Visible Dark.
12,000 subscribers.
I just typed it down. I will check him out. I'm trying to answer all these questions, but there's no way to reply to the comments.
You can where it says say something. You can't type anything.
In YouTube?
It says that on the bottom, but I can't reply underneath their comments.
Oh no, yeah, you can't do that because you're not a host.
So I'm sorry everyone who's watching.
Well,
I'm trying to answer questions.
If you want to answer the questions at the end and go through it, I could put it on our blog, and we could put it on the blog, and we can put answers to the questions for that. We could do that. We've done that before.
People are being so nice, and this is a great community.
Yeah, we're actually coming up on 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So,
Really?
Yeah.
You're encroaching on Sean's record.
Yeah. Sean Nielsen, who's again in the chat, actually, we'll say, I'll say Visible Dark, the artist formerly known as Sean Nielsen. He has a record. I think it's 3 hours and 27 minutes, if I remember right. Is
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. So
Hey now.
Sean is the man. I actually went up to Canada and took some time out and drove up to visit Ron Breacher and Sean Nielsen. We had dinner together and a good time up in Canada. So that was a lot of fun. Miss you guys, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, even though it's taking, this is a long session or somewhat long session, that's what's great about astronomy. There's so much to talk about and so much to discuss and learn. You never freaking get bored.
No.
So it's
true.
a wonderful hobby for people with ADD and people who love learning. So.
Yeah.
Eric, you're muted, Eric. Yeah, you are. You got no signal.
You're muted.
In. You have 0 signal. 0.
Nope. Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Yeah. Your mic must have died.
It's that $4,000 astronomy computer you just put together.
Sound.
How about now?
Yeah, there you go. You're back.
There you go.
I had to do it. I just did a quick reconnect.
No problem.
So yeah, that's so weird.
Have you guys ever heard of? I'm sorry, you were trying to say something.
It wasn't important. Trust me.
You were waving and.
Trust me, it wasn't important.
Here's something that we also use for outreach. I don't know if you've ever heard of AstroReality. They make planetary models. this is a mini one, but
Mm.
they give you a full set of models, and they are ranked as the highest quality, best resolution, best accuracy of printed data. So the surface features. They work with NASA and they make these
Oh,
models.
that is cool. I'm looking
But
at it right now.
what's cool about it is that when you take your phone or iPad and point it at it, it gives you a full augmented reality experience. And so it
Mm.
shows you, it puts Mars, like this is Mars, it puts Mars in space. It starts rotating it. It starts pointing out features and explaining things. You can tap on stuff. You can tap on different spacecraft and watch them land. It's a really fun
Mm.
outreach tool. And they have the big versions that are this big, and they weigh like 15 pounds. They're just solid 3D epoxy 3D printed. And anyways, they're really fun
Mm.
for outreach and showing kids how birds migrate or how the populations increased over time. It's all there on the app, and it's really fun.
That's
So
really, really cool. I'm
Yeah, I'm
checking them
actually,
out now. That's really awesome.
ooh, the
yeah,
solar
Astro
system to
Reality.
scale. All the
That
planets.
one is amazing.
4,000.
Yeah, but it's to
What
scale.
is it?
That's super cool.
They're huge. They have other
It's an
ones for like
entire
Oh,
99
solar
bucks. But
system that's to scale.
yeah, I'll show it to you
So
real
there's a
quick.
massive Jupiter and a tiny little Mercury, and it's like I think
There you
it's
go.
6 feet long.
There it is.
Holy
oh
cow!
yeah.
But it's the most accurate uh, details of what it looks like.
Yeah.
So in the world, they work with NASA and all this stuff. Like I said,
Oh, I've seen these
Wow,
before. Yeah, this
that's
is very cool. I remember seeing these before. These are very cool. Yep.
so we have the solar system mini kit. And it's $100. You get all of them, and each has its own unique
Nice.
augmented stuff. So it's really cool for daytime stuff.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Do you
That's
guys
awesome.
do you guys do any solar or a lot of daytime
Mm.
stuff?
Unfortunately, no. I
unfortunately
do.
no.
We most of us work during the day, unfortunately, and by the
Yeah.
time we get home, eat dinner, and get on the show 2 nights a week, the rest, it's
Man,
you know, it's a lot. So
I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
have a friend of mine up in New York that is part of the Rochester Institute of Technology Astronomy Club, the ASRAS Club, and they have a big um, facility in Ionia, New York, that's in a Bortle 4, I believe, and he has a dome with a dedicated um, dual solar scope setup. I mean, it's
Wow.
crazy expensive, $40,000-$50,000 setups on this thing, and he gets some absolutely phenomenal solar imaging done. It's crazy. Solar is, yeah, it's a
it's a whole
niche,
different beast.
you
It's a whole
know.
different beast.
Yeah. We're looking for a Daystar Quark
yep,
chromosphere, I
yep.
think,
Yep.
um, for the solar programs. So when we have a fundraiser maybe next year, uh, we're gonna put that as a specific item that we're wanting, and so yeah, that's exciting. I've seen some really cool stuff with that, and
Oh yeah,
it's pretty quick to use. So,
yeah.
Yeah, it
I
is.
but
believe
yeah, it's
Having
definitely
having the
gonna
ability
go-
to do outreach like that, during the daytime with kids, where you can do EAA, and watch the solar flares as they're actually happening. I
Yep.
mean,
yeah,
that I don't care who you are, you see that happening live, that's gonna humble you.
Yep.
That's pretty
once you
impressive.
once you really get them to slow down and think about the actual size of the sun compared to this gigantic Earth that we're on, they start to freak
It's
out a little
massive.
bit, but it's like, so
Yeah, it's
these are so
massive.
fun,
You can.
so fun.
That's one of the things I teach my my kids. I teach little kids in certain programs and things, and I tell them all the time. I said, you can take how big this Earth is. Light can go around this Earth 7 times in a second. And this Earth is massively huge, and you can fit 1,000 of these Earths inside Jupiter.
Yeah.
And you can fit 1 million of
Just
these Earths inside the sun.
And then you
The
show
sun
them
is
what a
massively
million
huge.
actually looks like. Like, what does a million
Yeah,
like actually look like? It's crazy.
yeah,
So
It's out of control.
yeah,
Well, hey,
yeah.
blowing minds left
I
and right.
know it's getting kind of I know people are starting to drop off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people before they do again. I want to thank everybody for their support. And Carlos, again, I want to thank you for reaching out to me, and because and having the courage to reach out to me, because I know you were saying it's kind of hard to ask people for help. So thank you, because if you hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have learned about you and how cool you are, and we wouldn't have had this opportunity to meet you and get our community to meet you. So thank you for that. And again, thank you to all of our subscribers and the supporters who were kind enough and were able,
Mhm.
and were generous enough to donate. We really, really appreciate it, everybody. It's really, really awesome. So thank you, truly.
Yeah. So it looks like
Ditto.
Yeah, and share the program with your members that are definitely they want to learn, because
Yeah.
that's what we do here.
Yes.
It's about open sandbox, open learning environment, and learning from each other's mistakes and successes, and making fun of each other and getting off and going crazy. And I mean, we just have a lot of fun. So.
yep. And that's
Absolutely.
it. So it looks like final total looks like on YouTube, $625 cash on YouTube.
Nice.
$225 directly to the RFT site. So that's 830,
50,
800 and 850. Sorry, 850. Plus an AVX mount from Billy, plus the Revolution imager. I mean,
Yep.
and I think that's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be probably when you add up
It's
retail.
incredible. Thank
Yeah,
you guys so much.
So thank you everybody for
It was
the
an honor
support.
to be here.
And
Yes.
and Carlos, if you want to, when we say goodnight, you don't have to just wait for it to end. If you want to stick around for a couple of minutes afterwards, that's fine. It'll
Okay.
still
Yeah.
continue on our
Offline.
side.
Yeah.
But top donor Mark Ellis, $130.
Thank
So
you,
thank you to Mark.
Okay.
Bunch of
Thank you,
hundreds
Mark.
in there, and the AVX mount. That's just amazing. So
And and Jay's gonna reach out to me. I've been corresponding with him.
yep, about the
Through
dark
Discord
sky.
and everything. So as soon as I'll chat with him and then and we can correspond and get you, his contact info so you guys can, work out maybe a time that you can head over to his dark site, with your,
Yes.
with your outreach group. So that would be awesome.
That's awesome. And
Thank you, everyone. One last time, you guys are an inspiration and creating inspiration with your donations, with your kind words, with your words of support on the chat. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay positive. Stay joyful, and I'll see you out there under the stars.
yep. And just some really quick good news for the people at the that have ordered the AstroWorld calendars. They finally came in. So
Those are nice.
The calendars
gonna
came
get
in.
one.
This is all images from our members.
Really?
Yep. This is
Yeah.
this is
Oh, I'm ordering that right
this is
now.
all images from our members. We do pictures of the week and pictures of the year. Picture of the year is on the front, and so it's out. And I put in the big order just for everybody, so they should be coming in soon. So I just wanted to let everybody know. I did an order of 2 just to see how they looked, and immediately when I saw them, I was so impressed with the images. I said, all right, I ordered 20, and 17 of them are gone already. So,
Awesome.
but anyway,
Yeah.
I just wanted to
Yeah.
let everybody know that they
Is
no,
it
it's
is it too late to
no.
order them?
You could order right on astroweb.com, and
Okay.
you get
MX Quattro was asking.
yep. You can, yeah, I see.
I'm
I saw
ordering
that.
one right now. $28.99.
There you
Doing
go.
it. That's a great idea. That's super cool.
All right. So that being said, everybody, again, I can't thank everybody for your donations and your time and all the stuff that we've given help to RFT Stars. It's really, really, really humbling. Again, everybody has come through again for another well-deserving organization, and it's just unbelievable. So thank you so much, everybody. So that being said, Friday night is going to be critique night. So send in your pictures and we'll critique them for you. And if you want to give us the project files, we'll rip them apart. And I'll be Simon Cowell and Scott will be Paul
Yeah.
Abdul. And
Oh, how fun.
I guess
I'll be
I
Howie
guess-
Mandel.
that's America's Got Talent. Nobody cares about that. But anyway, everybody, have a good night. Thank you again. Appreciate everything. Remember, as always, keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And we'll see you Friday night. Have a good night, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Bye for
Thank
now.
you. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Yeah, my wedding ring